Today we'll be making Hong Kong style clay pot rice. I grew up eating this a lot. In LA, there was quite a few specialty stores that sold this. In fact, I think one of my relatives worked at a clay pot rice store. So this dish is different from a normal rice pot in that you actually burn the bottom of the rice in the clay pot and it creates like this crunchy exterior. So it's actually quite appetizing. But let's get into the recipe video. We'll start by making some cured pork belly as this takes the longest to make. In fact, it normally takes about a week, but we're going to speed up the dehydration process later. So first start off with adding some bay leaf, star anise, cinnamon sticks, Sichuan peppercorn, dark soy sauce, light soy sauce, and brown sugar in a pot. You're going to heat this up until the brown sugar dissolves completely and then let it cool down. Then we're actually going to add some whiskey. I just had some leftover Jack Daniels, so I added that. We'll want to make sure that each piece of the pork belly is completely soaked in the marinade, so go ahead and give it a flip if you're using a whole piece of pork belly, which I would actually recommend for curing. You would just want to flip so that both sides are in the marinade. And we're going to stick that in the fridge for 2 to 3 days. The next ingredient we'll want to prepare is pickled Daikon Radish. This is really easy to do. Just go ahead and slice Daikon Radish into small pieces and add it into a jar. Then add the following ingredients: salt, sugar, rice vinegar, and Shaoxing wine. These ingredients together should be able to give you a really nice pickled flavor on your Daikon Radish, and you want to pickle it for at least 24 hours, but it gets better as time passes. After marinating our pork belly for 2 to 3 days, we're going to need to dehydrate the pork belly to complete the curing process. Now, because I didn't have time to actually hang this in ambient temperature, I used an air fryer. What I did was roast the pork belly at 350 degrees Fahrenheit for 5 minutes and then dehydrate for 24 hours in an air dryer at 110 degrees Fahrenheit. And you can see that the result led to 95% similarity to lap yolk, so I think it worked out great. Now onto the third ingredient, we're going to be marinating chicken thigh. So I gave the chicken thigh a good pound just to flatten out and make the marinade more effective. The marinade itself is pretty simple. You add some cornstarch, sesame oil, Chinese 5-spice, salt and pepper. And I also used a bit of ginger just to get the chicken thigh a little more flavor. And we want to mix it and marinate for at least half an hour. Alright, the third and fourth ingredients are going to be shiitake mushrooms and Chinese sausage. If you're using the Chinese sausage straight out of the fridge like I did, I would recommend soaking it in water for about 5 minutes. Use warm water. Then we're gonna just cut all the ingredients into bite-sized pieces. So destem and cut the mushrooms, cut the Chinese sausage, cut the chicken thigh into pieces, cut the cured pork belly into pieces as well. Next, we're going to prepare the rice. I went ahead and washed rice until the water above it is cleared. I used 2 cups of rice because that was the adequate amount for the size of my clay pot. We're actually going to be using 1/2 less cup of water than rice. The reason for this is because the other ingredients will naturally produce liquid as they're heating up, and you do not want that much liquid, otherwise the rice will come out soggy instead of crunchy. So while the rice is heating up at medium to high heat for about 5 minutes to evaporate the top of the water and cook the rice, we're going to brown our meat over medium heat for about 5 minutes. And you can see on the side I also cut some green onions that we're going to use to top it off. After the meat is brown, go ahead and add all the meat to the rice bowl, the clay pot, and also add in the shiitake mushrooms and the pickled daikon radish. We're going to be heating that over the stove at medium heat for at least 20 minutes. While that's heating up, we're going to prepare a final sauce. This includes only 4 ingredients: fish sauce, sesame oil, garlic powder, and some soy sauce. Give that a gentle mix, and once that's mixed, we're going to add the soy sauce to the top of the clay pot rice and cook it for an additional 3 minutes. And there we have it. After opening up the clay pot, you can see that it's steaming hot. I went ahead and add some green onions just for extra flavor. This dish is absolutely amazing, and the size of the dish makes so that you can actually eat this for like 2 to 3 meals. It took me 2.5 meals to actually finish this dish. And I loved how the crunchy rice blends so well with all the ingredients in this pot. There's only 5 other ingredients. You had Daikon Radish, Shiitake mushrooms, cured pork belly, Chinese sausage, and chicken thigh. All those meats and veggies combine together with the rice really well, and the soy sauce just kind of adds this extra layer of flavoring. The burnt crunchy rice adds a lot of texture to the dish. I highly recommend that you make this and try it out for yourself. If you enjoyed the video, please give me a thumbs up and or subscribe to my channel. It really helps a lot. Thank you and have a great day.